another impromptu video. I hadn't even really thought about doing it until I'm sitting here. Literally, I was going to be writing in my journal. But I thought it's been a few days, basically, since I've done a little video update about how things are going. I am now in Lake Havasu, Arizona, for what is called an Xscapers annual bash. It's at a rodeo fairgrounds in Lake Havasu. I think I talked about Xscapers in a previous video and how I found this club, and they have these bashes and convergences and stuff all over the country throughout the year, and it's basically for people of working age who travel and live in their RV, or for the most part. I signed up. And I signed up for the solar area. And I think I've told you about my concerns about my solar. But I did come here to learn, to make friends, and to have fun. And guess what? I've only been here, it's only like 8:30 in the morning right now, and I arrived here yesterday at 3 o'clock. And I've already done all three. Kismet is just completely well received. Look at, here he is over here, just nicely just sitting here patiently waiting for Mama to put him to bed or whatever. This is interesting to me. This is Kismet. Okay, so the dog's name is Kismet for a reason, because everything happens for a reason, and some things are just meant to be. So I had been considering that I want to go my next, after spending some time, go to the national state parks up in Colorado and Utah and whatnot. And so I happen to be, like, literally the first people I meet when I get here are from Utah and know all of those state parks and boondocking and the forestry land and BLM land intimately. In fact, the husband is, I could give you GPS coordinates for everything. So plus they know a lot about solar because they have solar on their trailer and their equipment. And I said, this is what I came for, because I can be reading about this, I can be in forums and asking questions, but to actually be physically with the people who are doing it, who could tell me what to do, priceless information. So I'm looking forward to just getting better acquainted with these people. We did do campfire cocktails last night, which was totally fun. So like I said, I'm already having a great time. What a difference in the total solo experience, which I don't mind either. Up in Pismo and Santa Barbara and even in Temecula, I could go days without ever seeing another human being or talking to another human being. Kismet's always great for people approaching me. Can I pet your dog? They're not going to come up, can I pet you? So at least I hope not. But I wanted to share about my previous experiences from here. I'm still caring for my parents with the caregiver. The other night, the last thing my caregiver texted me was, we have to get your dad in for follow-ups because doctor's concerned it's his heart. And that just set me on, okay, is this the right thing for me to be doing, to be out here far away? But yet on the other hand, it's all covered. There's nothing I can do. And this is part of what caregivers experience, is that you think that you have to just lose your life in order to care for somebody that you love. And I'm not a medical professional, so this, like I said before, I was in over my head. And then there's this childhood stuff and all these other things that I needed to come out here and explore my life. And when I first started out on this journey, I had planned that I won't ever be longer than a day's drive away, which right now I am only less, a day's drive, like 6 hours away from where my dad is right now, if something did happen. But yet I've had several people, whether when I do my own prayers, I feel like you need to go. I'm talking to other spiritual guidance people. They say you need to go. Talking to even my therapist and my friends. It's like, you cannot live your life right now waiting for your parents to die, which is true. And the other things is that I am healthy and able-bodied right now and motivated to do the travel right now. If I wait until my parents die, I may not be as healthy. I may be financially in a different circumstance. The grief may prevent me from going, and then I would have regrets. So I've even been talking to a few clients about what they want to do with their future. People who are going through a life transition, we always say you're on to the next chapter. And I've changed that whole philosophy. No, this is not a new chapter in your life. You're writing the sequel. And that's what I'm doing. I'm writing the sequel to my previous life. And so the journal project, I was like, but the journal project is well underway. And I was able to burn 6 journals when I was in Xscapers. Now that was just Xscapers Regional Park. It was just a stay over for a few days. That was inexpensive with hookups that I could work, and still make it down to Temecula and then work again the next day. And then Friday was to pack up and go. This is how my travel has to go. I can't travel every day because I have therapy clients. Staggered it so that way I do have specific days where I don't see clients so I can travel. But the 6-hour travel days, you can't do anything else because basically you gotta hitch up the trailer, do the travel, and then unhitch the trailer and set up camp. And that whole ordeal is 10 hours probably. So I can't work on travel days. And so I'm just really grateful that I made the decision to step out in this kind of environment. There's a lot of people that it's their first time here and I keep running into them. But then there's other people who have been to several and they just love it and keep coming back. It's been an interesting experience being here. And as far as my personal journey goes, in Xscapers, it was awesome because it had a barbecue fire pit. So it's like a grill, but it's stand-up one, so it's waist high. So I didn't have to sit in a chair and be like over a lower fire pit. I stood there, and within 90 minutes, I had 6 journals burned. And then the next day, it rained all day long, and so those ashes of those burning journals got washed also. And I got to tell you, it's very therapeutic for me because I've been carrying these journals around obviously my whole life. And so these last 6 journals were, I don't even remember exactly what the topics were, honestly. I just know that right now I'm at a point in my life where my second granddaughter has been born and I'm living in Temecula or Murrieta with my daughter and son-in-law and my 2 grandchildren. I'm licensed as a therapist now and just trying to build my practice. I've learned that in the beginning of writing in my journals, I could see the young woman, the young, immature woman who's just looking for love. And that's all my journals a lot of times were about, was liking somebody, does he like me, having a crush on somebody, and then moving on. And then there was like my brother dying and then getting married and getting divorced and job issues and business failures. But always there was a component, there's been 2 consistent themes. I want to meet my soulmate. That's all I really want. And I trust God to make it happen. So my faith in God has always been consistent. My prayers, my Bible studies, everything. I realized I always picked like men who could be projects or fixer-uppers. Somebody who might be like me who's had to start over because they made a poor choice. I got to get healthy first. So that's what I'm out here doing. Actually, I've been getting healthy, but I transitioned into being a workaholic. And I just completely shut down when it comes to being open to relationships, even though deep down inside I'd like to have one, but not the wrong one. I'm happy alone. I'm happy with the relationship with my kids. I was happy being a grandmother, and I can see it consistently, just being willing just to take care of my parents, love on my kids and my grandkids, and work. And that's it. I gave up on my own stuff. And then as I realized that the only thing I ever had to talk about was my work projects, whether it was my workshop or my branding or my social media or my email stuff. That's all I ever had to talk about. And even I got sick of it. So I'm glad that I'm out here having adventures, and I'm glad that I've had some very important people in my life tell me, just go. Don't try to figure out how to be in this 1-day radius of your parents. You need to go. Everybody else, it does this. So go. You've got someone caring for them. There's other family members close by. This is what I've had to tell caregivers too, is that you are not the be all and end all of those people's lives. There are other people who can care for them. So don't take on the responsibility 100% on you. Even if you can't do what I've done and you have to stay around for certain reasons, allow yourself the respite time. Get away. Go do something. I told a friend of mine who runs a radio station who cares for her dad, and I told her, I said, you need just to get a hobby. Just get a hobby that's just yours, away from the radio station, away from caring for your dad, but something that's just yours. The people that I meet, is obviously they have bigger rigs. Mine's 25 feet long, and it's like a little studio apartment size. And I'm fine with it. It's completely comfortable. I'm very happy. Would I like more room? Yeah. Do I think I can handle a bigger rig, they call them? I don't know. They tell me, oh, it's easy. It's actually easier than the smaller ones. I'm like, well, that would be interesting. But that would mean another investment. That would mean a new truck and trailer, a whole new setup. And I just got out here, so I'm not ready for that yet. But who knows what? I'm not going to be married to any idea or possession. That's it. I just won't be married to an idea or possession. I'm out here to just explore and to take what comes, and what is meant to be is meant to be. That's why the dog's name is Kismet. Okay, so these are the adventures of Kelly and Kismet, and whatever is meant to be. So it was meant to be for me to meet these people from Utah so I can learn about Utah, because that's where I'd like to go and explore the national parks up there. But first, after this 10 days at this Xscapers bash where I'm here to learn, make friends, and have fun, I'm going to spend a whole month at a campground in Quartzsite and finish my journal project, because in that time where I'm just stationary in one place, I will have more reading time, more downtime. My goal is not to be on the road all the time, but to find a place and then go explore. So it's just nice to just talk to other people who are also new to this, but then it's also nice to talk to people who have been doing it. I think I'm finding my people for the most part. Right now, I'm also looking for people who are interested in studying things that I'm studying, but yet I may not be in the right environment for that. I'll find those people probably like in Sedona. This is a good report. I'm healing. I'm still hurting a little bit, but I'm healing. I'm praying for my dad that he's going to be okay, but I really do believe that my caregiver has it down. She's a certified nurse assistant. She's been caregiving for 25 years. She's worked in these communities. She knows what she's doing. Me, I would be freaking out, emotional, and not really understanding what I'm supposed to do next. Mainly because I get triggered. Heart failure issues are personal for me. It's not a matter of being there. It's like you can't sit in an ER with them anymore. You can't sit in their hospital room with them like that anymore. And he doesn't need me to, which is something that my family has always done. Is when we have a lot of medical crises, and the family always sits. We're vigil sitters. And so with my dad now, with COVID went and everything else, you can't go sit in the ER with him. So what am I going to do? Sit in my trailer close by in case? No. Worst case scenario, you leave your truck and trailer behind and you fly home. Got it. Okay. So, get on with your life. Write a new sequel. Enjoy it. Find something fun. Don't waste your time being miserable. And if you need extra help with that, go see a therapist. Go find a trusted friend. Friends aren't always the ones that are going to give you that good sound counsel, right? I confront a lot of my clients with their behaviors when I'm working with them. As I burn my journals, I realize burn the mistakes, burn the regrets, close the book, write a sequel. This isn't a new chapter. You're writing a sequel. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Get busy writing the sequel. Close the book on the past that haunts you. Start over. But it's not start over. It's like you're taking all your lessons with you so you don't make them again, which is what I'm doing. So I'm stepping out there and I'm approaching people and asking, may I join your group? Because I'm solo. So what am I going to do? Sit in front of my camper and hope people approach me? I don't even have a fire pit. So I'm just sit there in the dark with a flashlight like an idiot. No, these people had music going. They had a little fire pit going. And I'm like, do you mind if I come and hang out with you guys? No, come on. I think I'm going to be doing that a lot. Plus, this bash has a lot of entertainment. I'm just going to focus on meeting people, learning things, and having fun. Okay, so doing another Kelly and Kismet update. We are actually out in Quartzsite. Here is Kismet, just off leash. He's on the leash, but I'm not hanging on to him this time. This is like the first, because he's been such a puppy, I don't really trust him not to come back. So here we are in Quartzsite, Arizona. Beautiful out here on a January day. Now, I'm not out here boondocking. I elected to rent a space at a cheap campground, and you get what you pay for. So I have electric hookups and stuff like that, but I'm not intending to stay the whole month. So now I'm out here exploring other options. Since I had that experience at the rally and learned to boondock and got my generator and know a little bit more, I feel much more confident to come out and boondock now. So I don't know if I'll actually stay in Quartzsite either, because hey, boondocking you can do anywhere, and I'm working my way back to Mesa to hang out with my friend. So the search just started this morning, but the thing is that I've been where I'm at for 5 days. I had work to do and stuff like that, and then there's been a bit of a family hiccup with my dad. This is his third hospital stay in a month. So I'm like staying put until I figure out if I need to go back home to be with my parents. So I'm feeling in limbo. So the place that I'm at, I have hookups, I have water, I have sewer, but I might as well be in a Walmart parking lot. And in fact, I think I'd like a Walmart parking lot much better because this is close to the freeway, so it's still loud. And just scoping out the area, I decided to stop and just do an update video on the journey. Part of my reason to stay a month in Quartzsite was because I knew that there would not be any distractions to do fun things with my friend as I'm heading my way back to her. I still have a dozen more of my journals to review. So out of the 44, I'm down to 12. And I really want to just get this project finished. And I'd say put to bed, but it's not really going to bed because these are all my writing projects. But at least the journal review and the burning of the journals, which will also shed a lot of weight in my trailer. There's so many metaphors about the weight that I've been carrying around, the memories that I'm dragging along with me, the past that stays with me all the time. There's so many different metaphors. I never really considered that the journals were a bad thing to be having with me until I started reading them. And honestly, I don't need the day-to-day details. And I almost think I journal too much because I journal it literally every day. So there's a lot of repeating as far as what's going to happen. And I notice I do that quite a lot. So I think that I know I've realized it's like with this, my dog is so good. He's just sitting right here with me, just right here, not tied up to me in any way, shape or form. And he just came and sat down next to me. He's sweetie. Yeah. Sweet boy. So I do believe that my journaling will shift now. In fact, I have been. It's more about prayers, and my Akashic readings that I do for myself seems to be much more potent. Yes, obviously I'm journaling my feelings and thoughts. I'm journaling right now about how I'm feeling about what's going on with my dad and with my family that I've left behind. But I'm healing. I definitely am on a healing journey. And healing does take a little bit more time than we would hope. It takes as long as it takes. I've been out on the road now for 4 months. 4 months. Not a very long time for a healing process, but I am making headway. Still hurting, but when I read my journals, somebody shared briefly with one of these new friends that I made at the rally about my journal project. And she had asked me, so isn't it hard to read all of that? Do you feel the emotions again? And I'm like, no, actually, it's actually really refreshing because I don't feel the same emotions. I know what the outcome was. I know what I felt then. This kind of validates what I felt. It's amazing the things that we forget though. And I'm not trying to regurgitate or refresh my memory. I'm just grateful I forgot about it. Some of the things that really hurt, it's like they no longer are relevant. And I think that's a really good message, a really good lesson to learn is that the things that are hurting you and bothering you right now, 10, 20, 30 years from now, you might forget a lot of the details. You may remember like the situation. You may recall how you felt during that time, but a lot of the painful details do kind of dissolve. They really do. Right now where I'm at, I've had a lot of really weird parallels where I'm going through a journal, a certain specific time period, and something like that is currently happening. So right now I'm in the year of 2014, 2015 reading. It's 2023. Sorry. I know where I am. I'm not crazy, but I'm reviewing that. And that's the year where my dad had his open heart surgery. And so here my dad is in the hospital again, and we're concerned about his heart, and it's now been 9 years, which at the time the doctor said this open heart surgery, this bypass will buy him 10 or 15 more years. I'm 59 years old, and here I am just finally figuring out me and learning to love me as I am without feeling like I have to perform or hide my light or wait for somebody else to get through a crisis before I can live my life or be happy. So many different dynamics that I'm discovering about myself. No, the emotions aren't the same. I am reading it through the lens of a psychotherapist, but I'm also reading it through the lens of the wiser woman who's already been through that and already knows the outcome. But then I'm there present with the young girl or the woman who is writing the stuff and seeing all of the red flags at this point in this. I'm smarter, I'm wiser, I see the red flags, I'm not making commitments unless it's addressed. So this is one of the beauties about living this kind of nomad life, is that I could literally go anywhere. I could do what I want. I don't have to worry about a hotel or airfare. I just make sure I got gas and I have a place where I can park my trailer. And it's a beautiful thing. And we're just walking around the desert, and it's so beautiful out here. It just prompted me. It's like, all right, let's do an update out here in Quartzsite. So here we are in Quartzsite. It's a gorgeous day. If I can't find anywhere in Mesa, I have absolutely no problem coming out somewhere like this. You know, I had my truck and trailer weighed when I left the bash I was one of the services that they offered, so I took advantage of it. And I'm okay. It's like they said, I could stand to lose about 400 pounds out of the trailer. And I'm like, I got half a tank of fresh water, so that's going to weigh several hundred pounds. And I had all these journals. So yeah, okay, no problem. And I don't know if I'm going to be like full-time boondocking, but if I've discovered that I like it and it's cheap, I just may. But it's taken me this amount of time to come to terms with it, gain the confidence, feel like I'm doing okay. I wasn't sure about the whole, like, even just towing. So being out there in the middle of nowhere, I wasn't comfortable. Having a puppy and housebreaking, I wanted running water in showers. And then the holidays, I wanted a nice place at the beach. But now here it is, it's middle of January, and almost the end of January, and I've had a bash, and I boondocked I dry camped for the 10 days, and I made it, and I did fine. And I had friends that kind of gave me some insight into what I was to expect. So now I know how to navigate it, how to manage my power consumption, and how to plug in the generator and run it. So progress, that's what it is, little baby steps. And that's what I'm doing. Every day for the first 90 days was literally stepping out of my comfort zone. Now this month, it's not necessarily out of my comfort zone. It's okay, holidays are over. It's a whole new year. Weather is going to change. I want to go to the national parks in Utah. And so I did meet some people. I've got some coordinates of some places to go, but it's not really good to go until like late March. It's amazing the change of perspective, isn't it? Kismet and I are out here having a really nice walk, a really nice quiet morning. Kismet is being such a good boy, not running around. He's just hanging out. I think he's learned that when mommy's talking into the phone, he needs to be chill. It's the therapy sessions. I have to stick him in the crate when he starts to jump up on me because I can't play with puppy and be a therapist at the same time. You got to go to bed, dude. Go lay down. Thank you for watching. This is the adventures of Kelly and Kismet. More to come later.